Um, I mean, we probably, the games weren't that much different. You could argue that, we might have played the last two periods better on Saturday than we did on Friday. The score is just different. So, but that's also a symptom of, what we're going through here is, are we willing to pay the price when the game's a little bit harder? And, the second night, it's always harder. Whether you won or lost the first night, it's always harder. And, our start wasn't good enough on Saturday, and we paid the price for it.
I asked Holter what he thought it took, because he's obviously a guy who's been a part of a lot of hockey sweeps, right? And what he thought it took to win on that second night. What do you think it takes to win on that second night? He said it takes just even more.
Yeah, well, it can't be 10 minutes of sleepwalking, and that's what it was. And, we kind of did the same on Friday, to be honest. And the difference was we were up 1-0 instead of being down 1-0. And, and their goaltender obviously played really well on Saturday, and kept him. Obviously we had a lot of really good looks, and so you don't get to have 10 minutes off, regardless of what happened the night before. So it's a learning experience.
Coach, after you beat a team on a Friday night, is it very traditional to see them give you a better effort, I guess, on Saturday to make it tougher against you guys?
Well, I mean, it's kind of been an anomaly a little bit that some of these games this year where, the first night we've played really well, or not, the score has looked, really lopsided. The game was not lopsided on Friday. The score was, but the game really wasn't. And but good teams and mature teams find a way to just play the same way no matter what. And that's been a challenge for us. It hasn't been that we played awful. We actually did some really good things on Saturday night. We didn't do the little bit extra around the net to find a way to score one or two more. And realistically, we gave them 2 goals. We gave them a goal in the power play. We got outworked, and then, the second one was just a turnover and poor rush defense. And so, outside of that, I don't have a huge problem with a lot of what we did. It's just the result is the result. It does, there are no moral victories.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. The football cliche is always seeing teams come out with their halftime adjustments. Is there usually a big change from a Friday to a Saturday in that regard? Do you guys see that often?
Not so much in hockey. There might be one or two things, and I think that weekend, obviously their goaltending was a big difference from game 1 to game 2, and they started a different guy. He played really well, and so that was a little bit of a difference in the game, where everything was going in for us on Friday, which is a bit of an anomaly, and it wasn't on Saturday, and we got what we got.
I feel like Boyd is finding his swagger a little bit. What did you make of his performance this weekend?
Yeah, he was better. Yeah, I mean, 2 goals in over 2 games is pretty good. We didn't give up a ton, so he did what he needed to do, and so yeah, he was definitely better.
Does BC present similar challenges to a BU? Obviously, all that skill. What are you guys doing to prepare for that?
Yeah, I mean, BC is a team that every time you turn a puck over is going to get a scoring chance, and so it's the same as they've always been. They're playing really well right now. I think they've won 4 in a row or 5 in a row or something like that. So, every team plays a little bit different. There's different challenges from week to week. There's also different challenges for us, more of a mental challenge of how can we get better and every week, build our culture. It's not about necessarily the X's and O's piece of it. Is, get everything together. That first UMass game really, is probably everybody clicking, everybody going special teams. Goaltending is pretty good. We're good, and then 1 or 2 things are off, and you're leaving things to chance, and that's what we've done in the second night the last couple of weeks.